that is actuator concept here. So what is admin server and why it is used? We are going to see here. Okay, so if you want to monitor your application, okay, if you want to monitor applications or microservices, then we use actuator service actually here. Using endpoints concept. What are the different endpoints here? You can see here: beans, health, info, cache, environment, config props, schedulings. Okay, heap or thread details here. We can monitor. Okay. Health, nothing but app started or not. How many instances are there here? Info. It is something like a metadata of application. Okay. So here, like, we have different concepts here. Okay. So in every microservice application, this is microservice application registered with Eureka and all here. This microservice application should have connected with admin server. So here you need to add a dependency that is called admin client. It's an admin client dependency we need to add along with the actuator. Okay, and you activate all the actuator services. Okay, then actuator result will be taken by admin client, will update to admin server. Some time gap here with a fraction of seconds here. Okay, it's like a one direction. All microservice details will be sent to admin server, where it is actually going to show in a visualized mode. Every microservice details here, you can just see here. Okay, what are the properties loaded here? Okay, what are the beans available here? What is actually health details here? Okay, what are all mapping details? You can just find out here. Like admin server is a central server here. Okay, for monitoring. Okay, if you want to monitor the applications here, it's a central server. Okay, this is not given by Spring Boot here. Okay, so here, like, if there are multiple microservices, for every microservice, you need to add an admin client and actuator link with admin server. Okay, you need to add admin client and actuator. For example, you have microservice 2 and microservice 3, so on. Add admin client. Server is only one. Okay. Okay, this is actuator. which gives ready-made or predefined services. Actuator will give predefined services like this. You can check the beans, okay, health, info, cache, env, okay. Okay. So here, if you just look at every microservice, you add actuator and admin client. So you can just see all the predefined services. Do you want to know your application is started properly or not here? Just 1 second. You want to know your application is started properly or not, objects created or not, cache is enabled or not, config props loaded or not, scheduling, mappings, and all here. These are all predefined services. Okay, this is mainly for monitoring services here. Okay, admin server is used to monitor. Okay, monitor your apps. Okay, like all other services here. Okay, this is not given by Spring Boot. Okay, admin server is actually third party. Okay, this is integrated by Spring Boot here. Okay, just I'm writing here, file new Spring Starter project here. This actually admin server EX. Next button. There I'm just choosing admin server. Here we have two options. Admin server, only one application. Admin client for every microservice. You need to add here. This is company name called CodeCentric. Okay, that is a vendor name we can also call here. This is not from Spring Boot. Again, I'm mentioning, okay, admin server is not from Spring Boot. Has provided this open source API to implement admin client and server concept. Okay. Now we have to use actuator. Actuator, if we use, all we have to check manually. Admin server automates everything and it will display it UI. Actuator required here. Okay. Actuator is actually manual checking. Admin server automates the process. You need to enter the URL one by one, right? In the actuator, but admin server says, no, don't enter the URLs all. Okay, I'll automate here. Okay, so first I'll show actuator. Dilip, you don't know actuator, first time you're listening. Okay, fine. Now this is Spring Cloud Concepts. Okay, observe. First I am adding employee service. Look at, I'm adding only actuator. If you don't know actuator and admin server, first I'm adding actuator. Please look at. Actuator only I'm adding. I'm not adding admin client. Next button, pom.xml and finish button. Like this I have done here. Now in application.properties, okay, I'm just mentioning here, actuator enable, management.endpoint.web exposure include is equals to start. Star indicates all services. Okay. Now I'm running the applications. First, Eureka server. Then config server. Okay. Then employee service. Then gateway server. Still, I'm not running admin server. I'm just showing only actuator. If you are listening for very first time, I'm just showing for a second here, actuator. Okay, look at the employee application is running on a port number, some 8080. Look at, there are all the services available here, 8080/actuator. You can see. Do you want to know what are the objects created? Enter this URL. If you add actuator, if you want to see all the objects, okay. If you want to know what is the application status, enter this URL, status up. Okay, but we should not enter the URLs like this in real time. This is actuator. If you want to know what are the objects created, okay, if you want to know what are the info, it's actually empty now. Okay, if you want to know what is the key values loaded, environment variable, env. Okay, if you want to know what are the mappings created, okay, so schedulings and all here. Like all the things are available here. Okay. If we add only actuator, these are all the predefined services you can access by entering the URLs manually. If we use only actuator, okay, we can use many predefined services without code. Okay, but enter URL manually. Okay, if we enter URL manually, like for multiple microservice, it's a lengthy process. Okay, we cannot check one by one URL manually like this. Okay, so if you want to know, for example, /employee is mapped with what? I just want to know. /employee/modify with the put type is mapped with the employee list controller. This is a manual process. Look at. Okay, this manual checking I don't want. I want a UI. Okay. Actuator gives all predefined services like this: beans, health, info, cache, env, and all. But I just want to make central server. Okay. Entering URLs like this. Okay. May not be a good approach. Okay. So here, actuator is a Spring Boot concept here. Okay. Admin server makes internal calls for all these URLs and display resulted UI, user interface. So admin server automates all these things here. Okay, if you don't enable, you cannot access this. You must enable all the services like this. Okay. So this is only configuration you need to do. Only add actuator dependency and add this one. Nothing else. Only one key here. Okay, if you don't enable, you cannot access. Okay, now I'm just showing the coding part here, what I have just done. Coding part. First, admin server. Second, at microservice application. What I'm just doing. Admin server I just created once. Okay, just I created one application here. Admin server. There I'm writing one annotation here. Enable admin server at main class. Dependency Spring Boot admin server. At main class, we have tried this one. Any port number is fine. Any port number is fine. I recommend one port number here. Server.port is equals to, just I'm writing 9999. Okay, that's fine. That's it. Okay, don't use 88, already application is using. That's fine. Now at microservice application, add two dependencies. Okay, one is actually admin client, second one is actuator. Okay, already I have added actuator. Right click, employee, Spring add starter, admin client. Next button, pom.xml and finish button. Two dependencies at employee application. Okay, actuator is for actual services. Listen, actuator is for actual services. Admin client is for UI. This is giving actual services, all additional services. But here, if you want to access, we have to enter URLs manually. Admin client will access this all, will display the result at central UI, a central server for monitoring. Okay, these are the two dependencies in pom.xml. Next, activate actuator like this and provide location, admin server location. Just I'm writing here, Spring Boot admin server, admin client URL 9999 is a port number I just used. Better you can move to config server location even. Means GitHub properties also fine. Add these two. Okay, hit properties file. Okay, activate actuator and provide admin server location. These two. Actuator enable and admin server location. Now I'm running this application. Observe carefully. First, Eureka server. Then config server. We can use only actuator at Spring Boot application, but admin server works only at microservice applications. Admin server, employee service, gateway server. Remember the URLs, localhost 8761. Okay, execution order. First, Eureka server. Check this. Second, config server. Third, admin server. Above order can be modified even. Localhost 9999/applications. Already one application registered. Fourth, microservice applications. Fifth, gateway application, gateway server. Okay, I run all those things here. You can see gateway and employee. Now today I'm just showing here. This is, you can see how many applications are there, how many instances are there, how many started. It's a monitoring tool only. Admin server, only monitoring tool. Listen again, admin server, only monitoring tool. What you can monitor? Don't click on IP address and port number. Click on the service name. Do not click here. After entering this URL, okay, after entering this URL, okay, don't click here. Click on this name. Okay, you just click on the name. Again, once you click on the name, don't click on the URL. Click on the ID. Click on this ID. Now you can see. Okay, Sushant, I think you joined late. That is only design I guess starting. Multiple microservices with a single admin server, multiple admin clients and actuators. All microservices will be connected here only. In the future, if you write product service, just click here, you will see product service below. Okay, order service, like if 40 microservices are there, suddenly you got doubt. Okay, how many started properly, how many instances are there, how many are up, how many are down, you want to see here, you come here. Okay, now you got a doubt. Okay, now the question, employee rest controller created or not? That's a question. How you will check? Come to application, click on service name, click on ID, beans, employee rest control. Yeah, it is there. The scope is singleton, dependency also there, employee service IAM here. Okay, like this you can see here. And schedule task, nothing available. Okay, thread dumps details you can see, mapping. So slash employee slash delete is not there. Slash remove is mapped with what type? It's a delete method. This one here, you can see here. Okay, you can just see here, memory details, thread details, okay, status, application status, all this. It's a monitoring tool here. No, this is not actuator URL, this is actually admin server URL. Actuator URL will be like this. Okay, if you have 20 applications, 20 URLs, we cannot handle one by one, this one. Okay. Samir Mohammed, very simple, don't add the dependency, that's it. Okay. Admin server is not by Spring Boot, it's a third party, open source. Admin server is actually code centric vendor. Okay. Okay, Santosh, instance nothing but if you run employee application one more time, listen, by changing some port number, I'm changing port number. Again, I'm running application one more time. That is actually called one more instance. If you again modify some port number or IP address, and again, if you run one more time, that is actually called one more instance. Okay. Instance nothing but application how many times you are running. Okay, that is actually called instance. One instance down suddenly. I think by mistake I click on stop button. Okay, fine. Okay, so here Menon, we have third-party tools, lot of paid services. Spring Boot is actually saying all from one vendor. Okay, it's an open source. Okay, like see, you can have something like XYZ company car by paying 1 lakh you can purchase, or else you can use your own car, which is actually free. Like that here also, if one concept is there in the market, okay, there will be lot of vendor and lot of tools. Payment is a different. For example, we are developing web application. Can't we develop web application by using .NET? or PHP. Java has their own recommendations, benefits, and use cases. Okay, a simple or medium scale application you want, .NET is good. No, sir, complicated and high level business oriented application is there. Spring Boot Java is good, like that. Even there are so many monitoring tools are there in the market. Okay, like, yeah, we have so many. So one is given by admin server for monitoring our microservices, not application. Listen very carefully. 4 instances are there. How to monitor 4 instances? By here, like this. I just click to one stop here. That's why it's a down. You can see like this. Okay, so if you want to monitor your microservices, okay, then like this, you can just see here. Okay, so this is to monitor your microservice, not complete application here, your microservices individually. Okay, so here how many instances are there? What are these services here? Admin service. Okay, still I'll just give a reference document also for you. Just 1 second. Production ready features. This is a reference document I'm just giving for you. Okay, you can just go through this. If you're listening for the very first time, admin server and actuator, it's official document. What is endpoint? Audit event is an endpoint. Means ready-made services, sir. In simple, these are ready-made services. Okay, so here beans, cache, condition, env, health, info, metric, schedule, task, heap dump, thread dump, all are ready-made services here. Okay, how to enable, how to expose, all are available here. You can just see them here. Okay, so you can just enter all these URLs like this. Okay, now finally, still I am started all applications. Fine. This is a good order to handle. A recommended order. 1 second. Now finally, I am going to run front-end application for cross-checking. Remember, any modification you do, admin server will monitor only microservice application backend services. That's not my meaning, Jay Krishna. Entire application means Angular is not monitored here. That's a meaning. Yeah, Karthik, this is a developer configuration, but there will be separate monitoring team will be there. They will do that. Okay, it's something like you are sitting in a building and you are fixing CC cameras and you are just watching them. Okay. Okay, yeah, Kanakarao, you can move these URLs to config server later. All this actually we have to move to config server, but temporarily okay. Now I'm running this application, front-end application, copy the path. Okay, remember one point, if you do any code modification in the backend or front-end, please test everything here. No, Eureka is not for monitor purpose. So Mendra Das, Eureka is register. Of course, you can just see, are they started or not? That's okay. But if you want to know the objects created or not, employee service started. I want to know REST control created or not, how you will check? Okay, I want to know dependence injected or not, cache, memory, scheduling. You cannot see, you just see only what are the services registered. Okay, that's different here. How many instances and all here? once application started, yeah, we are able to get the data and add the data, fine. You can just, it's a test. Yeah, I will show some validations here, front end, back end validations. Registered, just perfect. If you do any modification, a good programmer here, so Mendra Das, I did not understand your question. Eureka server purpose different. Eureka server is a register. When any request comes from API gateway will go to Eureka server. Eureka server will return an instance that has less load factor. Okay, that instance will be taken by API gateway. It will execute microservice. That is the purpose of Eureka. Because of it's a dashboard, don't say it's a monitoring. Okay, because of just dashboard, we cannot say it's a monitoring here. Okay, monitoring nothing, but I just want to know all the things. Okay, look at in the employee service, what are the key values loaded? Question. Okay, you are saying it's a monitoring, right? Now question I'm asking, employee service, what are the key values loaded? How we will check? That's the question. Understood my question? Now I'm showing answer. Go here, Spring Boot application here. Okay, choose any instance. Go to environment. Okay, search all the key values here. Okay, what you want to know, just you can check here, any particular key value loaded or not. Data source here, just I want to show you. Yeah, this is the data source. Clear? Like that, you can just see multiple services with actuator. Okay, these are additional things here. Sonu Gupta, first understand what is instance. Multiple instance, same application run multiple times by changing port number. That's a basic question. How can we create multiple instances? That's your question, right? Just run application multiple times with IP and port combination unique. You should not repeat port number and IP address combination, whether you run in a different server or same server with the same different port number. Clear? Okay. How admin server is different from Eureka server? That is only Sumitra, that's your question, right? Admin server is to check all predefined services like objects created or not. Okay, key values loaded or not. Okay, what are mappings exist. Okay, scheduling enabled or not, cache created or not, heap and thread details. You can just visualize all these things. Eureka is to store microservice instance data. Okay, when gateway request comes, okay, select an instance that has less load factor and return same to gateway. This is a point here. Clear? Whatever the questions you asked, all I used to explain in Spring Cloud classes, Spring Boot classes. Okay, first you need to finish the course, then you need to attend the project. But fine, hope you're understanding my explanation. Still you are not clear, I recommend you to attend one Spring Boot, that is microservice batch even. Okay, I'm trying my level best, sir. But still you have question, no issue, you can send email to me. Better you download this document first. 1 second. Good question you asked. Actually, first you have to finish the course, then you need to attend the project, sir. For example, without learning advanced Java, can you do advanced Java project? You are doing now. Without learning Spring Cloud, you are doing Spring Cloud project. I am explaining with a mini project actually, sir. All I'm explaining step by step with the diagrams. Actually, I should directly go to project. Some people might have forgot. Some people did not do practice. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Spring Batch actually contains even Spring Cloud also. Microservice theory, Spring Cloud program. Yeah. So no, definitely we'll plan with that one. Okay. Yeah, try to do practice as much as you can do. The remaining, I'll try to give support. From my side also, I'll give support. No worry. Ask your questions. No issues. Okay. I always accept, but ask at last. That will be really good. Even I can cover some additional points here. Okay. Yeah. The most important thing here, when you do modification, try to test entire application from beginning. Are you able to listen my voice, everyone? I have connected using mobile network. Yeah. So observe here. So admin server is just like a one-time setup here. So you create the application. Okay. So add Spring Boot admin server here. You will see option. It's a code centric option here. Look at. You can write any port number. There is no issue. Enable admin server at main class level. It's a port number here. Okay. So student asked, no need to register here. answer is actually no. It is independent application here. Not able to see. I think network is a bit slow.